Don't miss out on this opportunity to litigate like a seasoned professional. Join the Supreme Elite Team University.
Thomas in the lobby, folder thicker than a skyline. Credit acceptance on a resume, war stories in the fine line.
Don't miss
We ain't done. Y'all know what the fuck it is, man. Let's go. Oh my God, it's that. I'm not even at my best yet. I can't slow down, it's a death threat. She said, oh, it's really gonna be. I'm like, yes. Diamonds in the cut, I ain't need a medic. Like a brown skin, big booty, yeah. And her name and legacy said, I'm not your girl. Don't call me a legacy, sorry, you right. That's my bad. That shit get tricky when you running out of bands and the crew really like me. I'm the man. I'm like, girl, I'm in the zone. I'm like, girl, leave me alone. We done made it all the way from basement home. So what the fuck do you want? Yeah. Like, girl, what you want? I told her do not call my phone. I told her do not call my phone. And now they all on my drip. Yeah. It's really all on my drip. Hey, we really all in the mix. Yeah.
You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best. Rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best.
You have reached the law firm of Tenaglia and Hunt.
Westlake.
Oh, thank you for calling in to Technical PA. This entire call will be recorded and monitored. This is Michael Ross, and how may I help you?
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Caldwell? This is Lamont Thomas. We have an upcoming case at the Prince William County General District Court involving Westlake. I'm calling because I want to discuss. I see y'all send me the bill of what is it? Bill of particulars, and you have just the contract and pretty much payment histories. But what Westlake didn't, I don't think they informed you that they sent me an account that said zero balance, and also I was on the phone with them last year, the year before last, and I would like to send that phone call to your email. They said that the 91st day that the insurance was going to pay off the account and Westlake
Yeah.
would cease to be the lien holder.
Sir?
Yeah.
I'm not Mr. Carburner, I wish.
Shit. I mean,
My
sorry.
name is Michael.
Damn it.
I wish I was. My name is Michael. Though.
Uh,
I have your file number, and I'll get you right over to the
all right. Yeah. I didn't
you,
mean to knock your head off, by the way.
oh man, you're great, bro. I don't mind it at all. I was like, man, this gotta be good. I might go back to school, maybe.
Sir.
Welcome to tonight's live stream live on YouTube, hosted by your teacher's teacher, the Blueprint, your guru's guru, the Grim Reaper to the sovereign citizens, the dog with the litigation, the New Culture Empire. Tonight we have case reviews, Thomas's win against Westlake, and a new filing in the Florida foreclosure case. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content, and join the Patreon for exclusive content and podcasts at the New Culture Empire.
You're rocking with the best.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is the New Culture Empire, and we are back in the building.
You're rocking with the best.
Shout out to the family too.
The untouchable empire, baby.
Tonight, I have on good accord, just on the phone with them earlier today, about a few hours ago. I was on the phone with him a few hours ago. Where is he at? Where is he at? Where is he at? Right here. It's the GNMA worker, government worker, right here. Brother, yes. I was on the phone with him earlier today. And we were going over the parameters because he is a senior. See, I thought he's higher than what I thought. He's a senior investor relations analyst. So he does presentations, across the United States, trains other GNMA investor relations, the mortgage investor relations. So he has agreed to be the special guest at the July 14th mortgage presentation class. He is the special guest. So I'm going to be taking a back seat and I'm bringing him in to give you the professional feel. Now, if you are part of the Supreme Elite Team University, a part of my group, you already have the prerequisite understanding what's going on. This is a highly up there professional, but he's agreed to come and speak, which it will be taking place July 14th. If you want to be on the email list to email you in advance of the event, the itineraries, the things you need to do to join, send me an email, thomaslegacy603@gmail.com. Why? So I can have you logged in on the emails list. Also, Patreon, the link is in the chat. Join the Patreon, because the Patreon is where you're going to find videos and things like that you won't see anywhere else on social media. Now, just want to acknowledge, thank you, shout out to y'all. Now, we have on tap today, I want to go over two things. First thing is the case involving Westlake this year. We already know about credit acceptance. We know that was a masterful job. That's in the bank. Cool. But also, my other litigation this year, in which I was the defendant, in the matter, and we had trial scheduled for May 5th. Trial was scheduled for May 5th. And if you look at the case judgment is, as you can see, ended in a non-suit. Now, what is a non-suit? All right. So just to put everybody on board and make sure we're on the same page, to give you a little context before we actually get into it. A non-suit is basically the plaintiff, there being something there that prohibits them from proceeding to trial. When we went to court on May 5th, they had two lawyers. It was just me. We was going to trial that day. They called my name, stood up and said, "Hey, Your Honor, it's going to be a non-suit." And I looked around, I'm like, "Non-suit." And the sheriff's deputy said, "You're free to go." That was it. They dropped the case. They filed a warrant in debt. And I responded, which we're about to get into. I responded to the warrant in debt. And from that response, there was nothing, and I mean absolutely no other response from them. And we go to court, and it ends in a warrant of debt. A few days later,
if you look at it a few days later, the classes was, I mean, not the classes, but the actual account was taken off the books. So let me share my screen with you. Let me share my screen with you. So so you can actually see what I'm talking about. And we're going to move here. Now, this was the response to the bill of particulars. And I'm doing this as a more of an effort. I mean, you got to remember, this is not a template. Everything's going to be based on the own facts and circumstances. Okay? So everything is structured around their own facts and circumstances. To be honest with you, I'd rather want to get into the upcoming Florida case. To be honest with you, I'd rather want to get into the upcoming Florida case. Oh, 1 second. I can't leave the mob out. Well, they show love on TikTok. I see why a lot of people go over to TikTok now. They show love. They show love on TikTok. They show love on TikTok. I ain't gonna lie to you. They give it up on TikTok. So let's go live on TikTok. We are live on TikTok. All right, we are now live on TikTok as well. TikTok. Go ahead, get in the mix, family. Yeah. All right. Sheesh, might as well start now. Let's get into it. TikTok. Let's get into it live. We are live. Ron T was good. Ron T. We live on TikTok, live on YouTube. So this was the response. Defendant denies the allegations in the bill of particulars and demands strict proof thereof. Strict proof thereof. Right? Plaintiff has failed to demonstrate standing to enforce the contract. Bam. What you don't see is none of what you see online every day. The contract attached to the pleadings indicates, didn't say that it is what it is. I already did the research to understand what's going on. But one thing about court is you can't make legal conclusions. So just because I read their reports and it says it, that doesn't mean I come in there and say, they do this and they do that and they do this. Shout out to the heart, Dan. YouTube told y'all they give it up on it. Shout out to the heart. Told you. They show love on here. TikTok. I think I'm about to bring the full operations over to TikTok. I'm contemplating it. I think about doing that. I'm thinking about doing that and just keeping YouTube for drama news. Think about bringing the operations over here and Patreon on. Make it more exclusive. The contract attached to the pleadings indicates that the contract is held as custodian on behalf of Wells Fargo Bank National Association, raising questions as to the real party in interest. Not saying because of that, they're not the real party in interest. Raising questions. You're leaving it open-ended. You let the judge to conclude. But in this case, there was no reason for the judge to conclude because Westlake dropped out of the case after this response. They dropped out of the case. They gave up pursuing. Want to know why? And the reason why they did that.
The untouchable empire, baby.
You're rocking with the best.
Of course. Now, Plaintiff also has failed to prove the amount allegedly owed, the commercial reasonableness of the disposition of collateral, and the accounting of any insurance or reserve payouts applied to the account. See, this is not a I don't owe, wet ink signature, the facts and circumstances, because they're the plaintiff in this case. So I got to react to them. I have to react to them. And the reason why I was the defendant is because I voluntarily surrendered the vehicle. I voluntarily surrendered the vehicle. I actually left the vehicle at the lot where I brought the truck, which was subject of credit acceptance lawsuit. So I left it there and told them to come pick it up. It got to the point where it was on the lot for over 60 days. And the owner of the lot told the workers there, like, yo, when are they going to come pick it up? Because if they don't pick it up soon, I'm going to have to charge you a lot fee because you've taken up space for other vehicles. So me and Miss Mary, I went to the office with her and we was on the phone with Westlake together. She's on one phone, I'm on the other. And they kept asking for the information, the address, where it was like, yo, we gave y'all, no, she snapped. She said, we gave y'all the information all the time. It's here. We know you're waiting to get your dealer holdbacks and all that. So she said, dealer holdbacks. I said, let me go ahead and make a mental note of that, Miss Mary. Go ahead, put your bad self, Miss Mary. So they waited to around 90 days to pick up the vehicle. Remember, it was a voluntary surrender. So that's just like, okay, I'm giving you the collateral back and I've already made the payment for that month. I'm giving you the collateral back. That's pretty much canceling out the contract. So in reality, if you don't want to pay anymore, you have to do something with the collateral. The collateral that's securing your payments, you can't just hold on to it and still don't want to pay. You get what I'm saying? It don't work that way. So you got to figure that part out. Plaintiff has not established entitled to a deficiency judgment because the things that they do is what they'll do is they'll get cashed out on the insurance, right? And then they'll sell the vehicle for pennies on a dollar. But the difference between the remaining balance and what they sell the vehicle for, that's where they take you to court and sue you under. See, 30,000 people suffered that fate. And before my case was called, Westlake was involved in like 5 other cases. You had Select Portfolio. You had all these, the same old finance companies worldwide. And they won every single case because I was in court for about 20 minutes before. And I was in other courtrooms. And they win. Either they don't show up to defend or they get into a payment plan or they just lose. But when I step up in there, I say, now on behalf of all the people, I'm gonna take them to the box for everybody. Everybody that they took advantage of because they don't know the court rules, don't know the procedure, don't know how this go. I'm gonna put it on my shoulders. I'm gonna put it on my shoulders. I'm gonna fight for y'all. Plaintiff seeks to recover a deficiency balance following repossession and disposition of the vehicle. Following. So when they finally called me, I said, oh yeah, did y'all pick up the vehicle? The dude on the phone, and it sounded scripted. He said, yeah, we found the vehicle abandoned on the side of the road and we repossessed it for non-payment. I said, you must got the wrong one. That vehicle was left at Woodbridge Auto Sales. It was left there. No, Mr. Thomas, it was found on the side of the road. I said, I just talked to Holly and I called her the other day. She said, y'all finally came and picked up the vehicle. 2 gentlemen walked in there and Miss Holly gave them the keys because when I went into there and first thing I asked Miss Holly, I said, yo, did they come pick it up? She said, yes. I said, sir, either I'm not trying to say you're lying, but I left the vehicle there in February. There's no way it should be on the side of the road. So it sounded scripted, like, no, that's what happened. I said, sir, that's what happened, Mr. Tom. I said, okay, tell you what, I got bigger fish to fry right now. So if y'all just leave it alone, yeah, I'll leave it alone. But if you try to take me to court, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. So now right over the phone, you're not going to beat me. You're not going to beat me. It's hard to beat me. It's extremely difficult to beat me. Plaintiff seeks to recover a deficiency balance following repossession disposition of the vehicle. Under Virginia law, a secured creditor seeking deficiency judgment bears the burden of proving that the repossession and disposition of the collateral complied with the requirements of Article 9 of the Uniform Commercial Code as applied to Virginia law, not the general UCC like they like to cite. VA Code 8.9-610 provides that every aspect of the disposition of collateral, including the method, manner, time, place, and terms of the sale, must be commercially reasonable. Oh, you think y'all thought y'all was going to get off on that? Number one, you lied already. You already lied. Number two, you thought I was going to let y'all get off of selling the pennies on a dollar after you collect 100% of the insurance on the back end, like I don't have a video of it. The Supreme Court of Virginia has held that a secured creditor seeking a deficiency judgment must demonstrate that the sale of the collateral was commercially reasonable. Case law to support it. Additionally, VA Code 626A places the burden of proof on the secured party to demonstrate compliance with Article 9 when seeking a deficiency judgment. Plaintiff has not produced evidence demonstrating the manner in which the vehicle was sold, the market value of the vehicle at the time of sale, that the sale price reflected the fair market value of the collateral, that the sale was conducted in a commercially reasonable manner. Without proof of compliance with the statutory requirements governing the disposition of collateral, plaintiff cannot recover a deficiency judgment.
You're rocking with the best.
I told you, the new culture empire is on a totally different level than this pro se space. We're on a totally different level. We are on it. And the more we continue to associate ourselves with professionals, just like we got the guest speaker coming in, the senior analyst to the investor relations that works for GNMA, senior supervisor who does presentations. So the presentations he'll do for the other professionals, that's what he's bringing to my group. Come on, man. Come on, man. Listen. He's bringing it to my group. Little old me. Little old new culture empire. Little old me. Taking the time out, his busy schedule to come bring a presentation to my group. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that it's happening. It's not a coincidence. And this space will be a way better space. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir, Dan. Yes, sir. What's up, no cap? What's up, y'all? And this will be a way better space if people would stop looking at it like it's competition between me and them. This ain't no competition between me and the average person. Who am I competing with? Who am I supposed to be competing with? I compete with professionals. I try to beat multi-billion-dollar corporations. Like I beat Westlake and Credit Acceptance this year. That's who I compete against. I compete against the top litigators at a law firm. I test myself against them. I don't test myself against many people in these spaces because, to be honest with you, no disrespect, when I say this as humbly as possible, it's not even a fair competition. It's not fair because I know more things than they don't even know exist. Plaintiff has failed to establish the fair market value of the vehicle. You don't even see pro se litigants even making these type of, they're not even thinking that far. It's all emotional violence. They did me so dirty. They did me so wrong. I told you I could be the plaintiff and I could be the defendant. It don't matter. Same results. And they lucky that they already disposed of the vehicle because I was going to do a counterclaim and go after that title. I was going to do the counterclaim and go after that title. I was going to do the counterclaim and go after that title. In the deficiency actions, the creditor must demonstrate that the price obtained from the disposition of the collateral reasonably reflected the vehicle's fair market value. Where a creditor fails to prove that the collateral was sold for fair value, the alleged deficiency cannot be established. Virginia courts have recognized that damages must be proven with reasonable certainty and cannot be based upon speculation or unsupported calculations. See how I broke that? This is how professional lawyers structure their complaints. Like I said, complaints, litigation, it's an art form. You can't just be all over the place, and it has to read like a structured complaint. Even though you're pro se and you get a little leeway in how you structure your complaints, what the courts are not going to tell you is, and the other side is, if you structure your complaint in a professional manner, you're going to be given more credibility in your claims. Because sadly enough, nowadays, I'm not saying it's fair, but pro se is analogous to sovereign citizen. When they see a pro se litigant, they normally think sovereign citizen claims, because 85% of pro se claims is going to have a hint of sovereign citizen in their complaints. Whether they weren't it thinking they're not, or even refuse or reject the ideology, it still hints in that direction. Plaintiff has not provided competent evidence establishing the fair market value of the vehicle at the time of sale, or demonstrating that the alleged deficiency reflects the actual loss sustained. You see, I'm the defendant. They're the plaintiff. The plaintiff bears the burden. Pro se litigants, especially the defendants, y'all be letting them off the hook because you start jumping to one of the raised arguments you want to raise instead of making sure they satisfy the initial burden based on the elements of their claims and what the statute requires. So y'all actually be letting them off the hook. Y'all be letting them off the hook. If you the defendant, play the defendant. Don't be the defendant and want to play plaintiff. Be the defendant. You don't have to see this right here. I don't have to prove nothing. The burden is on them to prove it. All I'm doing is just pointing out that, hey, the burden should not shift to me unless the initial burden has been met by them. Once again, this is something that professional lawyers would say. Plaintiff has not established entitlement to a deficiency judgment. Once again, under Virginia law, a secured creditor seeking a deficiency judgment bears the burden of proving that the repossession and disposition of collateral complied with the requirements of VA Code 8.9610, which provides that the method, manner, time, and terms of the sale must be commercially reasonable. Additionally, Section 626 places the burden on the secured party to establish compliance with the requirements of Article 9. If the secured party fails to establish that the disposition of the collateral was conducted in a commercially reasonable manner, the secured party's ability to recover a deficiency may be limited or eliminated. Plaintiff has not produced competent evidence demonstrating the requirements. The method which the vehicle was sold, location, and the manner of the sale, the fair market value of the vehicle at the time of sale, the market and advertisement of the vehicle prior to sale, that the sale price reasonably reflected the value of the collateral. Without such evidence, plaintiff cannot meet his burden of establishing entitlement to a deficiency judgment. Go ahead. You think we don't know law?
You're rocking with the best.
We don't know. You thought I responded like the normal, just, hey, that didn't happen. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. No. Any claim that you raise against me, anybody, whether you're a lawyer, another pro se, you better make sure that you satisfied that initial burden. And if there's one crack in your claim, I'm going to reconstruct your whole argument. All these sovereign citizens, I'm going to sue you in court. I would love it. Come try it. You will get a scalping of your life. And I won't even file a counterclaim. You will get a scalpel of your life. Plaintiff has failed to provide a proper accounting of the alleged deficiency. You notice it's not about they got paid through the securitization, or the investors already cashed them out. Nah, I told you, and I'm not being funny. 98% of the people who argue securitization does not know how to argue securitization, meaning they should not be arguing securitization. Plaintiff seeks recovery of a deficiency balance in the amount of $5,690.68. Defendant denies that plaintiff has established that this amount represents the actual balance owed. The application of proceeds from the disposition of collateral is governed by Section 615, which requires that the proceeds from the sale of collateral be applied in a specific order, including the reasonable expenses of repossession. Hey. Stop. Reasonable expenses of repossession and sale in the satisfaction of the secured obligation. There you go. So you think, see, here's the thing. They'll attach the initial contract. They'll attach the payment history. They'll attach the initial contract, payment history. And what else do they attach? All these little certifications. None of that means anything to me. See, they think that's all they need, and that's the first thing they need to do, and that's it. Not over here. Not over here. You think that all you got to do is attach a retail installment contract and the payment history and the accounting of the payments and the advances and the repossession costs. You think that's enough? That's not even enough. Well, damn, if that's not enough, what's enough? You better go back and figure it out. You better go back and figure it out. Yes, sir. Shout out to Dan. Shout out to TikTok. Shout out to the rows, the galleries. Got tap the screen. Shout out. Yes, sir. On the road. To recover damages for a breach of contract, plaintiff must prove the existence of a legally enforceable obligation. Breach of that contract and damages resulting from the breach. Hold on, but they attached the retail installment contract to it. Isn't that evidence? Not over at the New Culture Empire. Is not evidence. Absolutely not.
You're rocking with the best.
Hold on, bro. You capping now. You mean to tell me the mere fact that they attached the contract that clearly shows the evidence of a debitness, you're trying to tell me that that's not good enough? Nope. Not over here. Remember, why isn't it over here? Why isn't it sufficient over here? It's not sufficient over here because you got the corporate finance lens. Nah. You got the corporate finance lens. You got the regulatory lens. You got the investor lens. You got the court and legal lens. And then you got, which all four of those makes up your consumer lens. Once you got all five lenses of the Supreme Elite Team University, then you will know that the contract that they try to use to stick you with the debt is the same contract that you will use as evidence against them.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to litigate like a seasoned professional. Join the Supreme Elite Team University.
Thomas in the lobby, folded thicker than a skyline. Credit acceptance on a resume with stories in the fine lines.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to litigate like a seasoned professional. Join the
You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best.
They're done. I put a fork in them already. They are done. You can stick a fork in Westlake. It's like you could stick a fork in Credit Acceptance. You can stick a fork in both of them. Now we about to stick a fork in US Bank, Select Portfolio. Who else? Loan Depot. We're just gonna stick a fork in all of them. Commercial break.
According to your conversation with your friend, the attorney, what we go over in group is right in line with the legal standards and the professionalism on how it has to look and what you need to know when you attack these people.
The words that he used was, "You're going about it standard operating procedures."
According to your conversation.
All right, authenticate your birth certificate. Now you got you want to learn the process? Me $250. All right, here. That ain't work. What you do now? Oh, no, you ain't get the embossing. Oh, that's another. I give it to you for $500. All right, get this money. What's next? Went there, took it to they rejected. Nah. You missed the bond paper. Give me $100. I'm gonna send you the special bond paper. Oh, okay. Hey, nothing still happened. No. See, we gotta dye the bond paper. It's a special dye that you gotta put on the bond paper. Oh, how much is the bond? Oh, that's only $175. It's a special dye because when they touch it, like it got to process through the scanner in the system in a special way, the secret way. Okay, here's $175. Nothing happened. No, because you were supposed to put it on the tax form. You never said. I did. I said, remember, once you get all that stuff, you might have to come back to me for the taxes. You don't remember? I sent you the text. I didn't get no text. Oh, look, I've been dealing with so many people. Hold on, let me go ahead and type it up right quick. And then making sure like I didn't send it. I'm just gonna leave it in the box, but I'm not gonna send it. Hold on. See, it's right here. Oh, see, look. It never sent. I forgot to send it. Oh, well, how much is for the tax? $600. I'll do the tax for you. All right. Boom. Get it? Bang. IRS response. Courts have considered claims like yours to be frivolous. Look, we don't have to go far. Look.
Everybody that's trying to monetize their birth certificate bond, first you're going to need your QSIP number. So let's look at the QSIP number and find out how much the bond is worth.
What is that? Birth certificate bond. What is she doing? Going on the ancient old fidelity crap. What year is this? What do you know? 2023. It's about, it looks like Fidelity has found out people are aware of their birth certificates are worth money and block it. They don't understand how securities work. In order for security to have value, it has to be backed by a financial asset that is producing cash flow. As of the October 25th, 2015 statement, the plaintiff is allegedly to pay out $108.32 in interest and fees. The defendant creates money out of thin air and burdens the plaintiff through a debt slave. What did I tell you? The vapor money theory. Yes. The vapor money theory. Oh, you ain't loan me nothing. You created out of thin air. You ain't really gave me nothing. I don't gotta pay it back now. Well, when did you find this out? When I was $5,724 in debt? Well, why didn't you figure it out from day one after you read the contract? Oh, because I ain't give it. Before I filed my lawsuit, when I found out all the violations with them, you notice that it wasn't until I was ready to file the lawsuit that I even said, forget that, I'm not paying you. I even offered them $10,000 for the vehicle based on the violations. Like if they would have agreed to that amount, there would have never been a lawsuit. Hey, here's some violations on you. Look, I know I'm able to prove this in court. So let me just give you $10,000 for the vehicle. Now, many people will be like, nah, don't give them nothing. But me, I believe in equity. I believe in equity going both ways. I believe in getting equity and I believe in giving equity. I try to do the right thing when I can do it all the time. I always first, the corporate finance, you be in compliance the whole way. You do the right thing on your end because when it gets in court, they can never say, well, you never paid back. You're delinquent. I can at least bring my arguments and say,
credit, they said we was trying to finesse me. Interest savings. No, I couldn't let them get me caught in front of the house inside Mercedes Benz GLE. Was something wasn't right, I had to do it right. Yeah. Sent the email with the proof, then I filed a suit. Yeah. Judge saw the evidence, then they called the truth. Just like that, gone. They settled quick, title on the way, and the debt was wiped away, and I ain't even had to pay. No, push the whip with a drip. You know I got the stick. You know I say the case. You know that they legit. Hey, Posey be the way. If you know how to play, get the win and drop order, then you get on out of the way. 50K right away. Thomas, I did it right. Now these haters gotta say that.
Woo-wee! Hang this. I'm gonna hang this right here. Hang this right here.
Oh, but it's a certificate of title. You ain't get the allodial title. Oh, you just got the certificate. You ain't get the allodial. You ain't get the allodial title. You just got certificate. You don't have the allodial. You don't have the allodial title to the land in which the vehicle was created. You ain't got the allodial title. You just got the certificate of title.
But this established ownership. And this ownership comes with no liens. This ownership comes with no liens. So social media's gurus, who's right? The one who's sitting here with a title in his hand, or the ones who has courses for $222 in templates and packages where the outcome is undetermined? Who would you rather take advice for? Someone who's speaking right now with his results in his hands, or someone who's speaking without results and it's all a belief, it's all a theory, it's all what is it? Whatever it is, let me get something for the strippers, get it. Who would you rather believe? The one who has the template and in their whole life just going over templates and reading fringe documents, or someone saying, listen, this is set you. Everything I do, set you. 5 lenses of the contract. See, this is what the 5 lenses of the contract get you. The 5 lenses of the contract get you this. And you have to wait for, well, will it work? Because the one who created the class from scratch is the very first person who implemented his own set you teachings. So, I'm just logical, just on the face, logical. What would you? I know what I would do. Me personally, I'm gonna go with the one that, I can see it. And it ain't gotta be no technical or what is it, what it really is. Do we gotta do more investigate? Logical. This allows, this allows. This right here. I'm gonna put an information. This allows you to sell the vehicle. This allows you to pledge it. This allows you to put it in a trust because you actually own it. See, the way I talk about put assets in trust, you actually own the assets outright before they go into the trust. I'm not talking about creating a trust now that you in default, face a foreclosure, and then want to put your mortgage inside the trust. I'm talking about you can put your assets inside the trust now. You own it. Full ownership. Well, it's a certificate of title, not the actual title. We could play the semantics all day, but at least I can sell this if I wanted to. I can pledge this if I wanted to. This document is good enough for me to pledge, because when, let's say I wanted to pledge it, the finance companies, they're not going to ask me for the allodial title. They're not going to ask me for the MCO. You know what they're going to ask me for? A valid certificate of title, proven ownership. That's what the normal finance companies. So if you try to argue something, you're arguing something that the finance companies are not even going to ask you for. But that's actually done in a way to discredit or to make them feel more special about what they're doing. So the goalpost has to move. You show a title, now it's where's the allodial title? Now where's the MCO? But when you actually have a title in your hand and everybody in the world knows that title means ownership, now it gets moved further. Well, you don't really own nothing. The state owns it and you're a ward of the state. Then why do you want to do the process that you doing to own yours? Give up on the process, then you're not going to own it anymore. Don't do it. So on tap, I'm going to say it again. Got off the phone with the senior supervisor, investor relations, an analyst. He is doing a presentation. He does presentations all the time for the GNMA, other investors, other companies. He has actually talked to him today around, I think, 2 something. We on the phone. We was on the phone for 28 minutes. And he is going to do his presentation July 14th in my class. I got him to, he agreed to it. We spoke about it. I'll be sending him the parameters and everything, you know, that we've been going on. So he's going to structure the presentation. I won't be teaching, because remember, when I'm in the room with higher professionals, I don't try to have a pissing contest. I sit back and I listen to them. But here's the thing. I don't have a professional background in these spaces. I didn't go to college for these. I went to college for business management and applied science. I didn't go to college for advanced accountants, get my MD in accounting CPA. But yet, I was able to secure a higher level with the GNMA, with GSEs, government sponsored entities. I was able to secure the supervisor, the senior analyst, to come speak at Little O, the New Culture Empires event that I'm hosting. And this is part of an ongoing series where I am hosting, bringing in professionals who actually makes a career out of the things they do. I'm bringing the professionals in to come speak at my events. So you're not only getting the new culture, you're getting the professionals too. Because we obviously are on the same page. I spoke to him for 28 minutes. We're on the same page on a lot of things. Some of the topics is going to be what really happens in a refinance. One of the top is going to be what really happens in the foreclosure. The mortgage-backed security side. The investor payment side. How the structuring goes, how the payments goes. So when you kind of hear me talk online, I'm not speaking because this is what I believe is true. I'm speaking from what I know is true, and I can get professionals on the phone to confirm it because they're in that world every day. The problem with many people that has an opinion, though they're nowhere near that world, they're not associated in that world. They don't have people who calls them. Remember, he called me back today. We were supposed to talk yesterday, but he called me today. He called my phone today to set it up, to line it up. So if you want to be a part of this amazing event, you're going to send an email to thomaslegacy603@gmail.com so I can put you on the email list. So when it gets down to it, time to it, you're going to have some time. I'm not going to shoot it at you at the last minute. You're going to get at least a week's in advance, almost like a week in advance. And I'm going to put you on the email list now. So when it gets close, I know who to reach out to. But this is going to be a hell of an event. Like, you're getting deep inside. Hey, straight up, nobody else online even has nowhere near anything like this going on. And I'm not trying to make it about, no, they don't. Nobody on TikTok. So all your equity people coming equity, they see, when they can't survive in that world, this is when they say, I don't do the core, I don't do that stuff. I'm in equity. No. Want to know why it's no? Because equity is a doctrine. You talk about getting equity. Are you giving equity by honoring your contract? Are you giving equity by paying on the contract in a method that it is agreed upon in the contract that's legally binding? So whatever method of payments that you agree to in writing, is that what you're giving? If you're just accepting the charges and sending it back, I don't believe you. And I don't care what you show me. I don't believe you. You want to know why? And I still won't be convinced. Oh, I'm gonna try this. You want to know why? Because 98% of these people's equitable methods is not transferable. You can't teach it in mass. You don't know how the other finance company from this company or that company is going to respond to it. See, what I teach from is from a system that governs all their operations. And this is the difference. When people don't, it's an inferior thing. They already have, it's too hard to figure out. I ain't gonna be able to do that. So they'll take, it's called the path of least resistance. But I'm gonna tell you like this. If you think that you are going to unilaterally settle a mortgage contract with hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line, millions of dollars at stake, and real people that has to be paid, and the agreements between the investor and the lender is that the underlying cash flow from the mortgage agreements, meaning your monthly payments that you make, is going to support their obligations to the investors, and you mean to tell me you're going to use some equitable accounting side to get it done? You're bullshit. I don't even care. You're full of shit, because you don't know how accounting goes. Explain the accounting. The accounting can't be, well, I just accept the charge and send it back for settlement and equity. Nope. Explain how that accounting works. What measurements are you using? Explain how that accounting works from a system of accounting that's already governed and recognized. So if it's not in the higher ups, the governing authority, if that method is not in the governing authority, when they're telling them, if this situation is like this, you have to account for it like this. If this situation, then you could present the account net. If it's not any of that, then they don't recognize that method in their system. And if they don't recognize the method in the system, what makes you think you're going to be successful in it? See, these special snowflakes, I'm the special one that got through. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, because I've been around long enough. And there ain't too many social media sovereign citizen processes that I'm not aware of. There's very little. But while we're here, let's while we're here, I forgot I'm gonna show y'all this. I'm gonna show y'all this email. I forgot. They told me to share it with my people. They told me to share it with my people. They told me to share it. This is a video. This email actually came out the blue. It is about Tamika. Yeah. Here we go, right here. Here we go, right here. This is about Tamika. Here we go. Let me pull it up. I'm about to pull it up now. All right. So let me share my screen. This is the email that the lady, the girl actually, I don't know why. Let me do it like this. The girl actually told me to show it. So if y'all can see, well, TikTok, y'all ain't gonna be able to see, but YouTube, as you can see, she told me to share this. So says Thomas, this criminal has been stalking me for 3 years. I've dedicated my ex Twitter page to taking her down. I have copied the FBI Houston, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, DEA, IRS, CPS, EBT, SNAP, Section 8, U.S. Marshals, NSA, Secret Service, SEC, as well as the media. Please forward to all her victims, including Core B. She and I used to communicate. My name is Alex. She knows me, right? And this is the email. This is the email. This woman here is an agent for cartels, corrupt federal workers, prison gangs, illegal aliens, cartels, working with hotels like Sonesta, San Ramon, trafficking, dirty cops and lawyers who take money under the table for pay to play, DMV, DOT, Carl Trans, SNAP, EBT, MTA, CPS, IRS. In the spirit of humanity, y'all can see this was sent to me in the email, out the blue. May remember? I'm saying she's the lady, girl. The girl, yeah, it sent to me out the blue. I was like, what the hell going on here? This ain't the first. I can just type in their name, skip the balls. Their clients, they send me their stuff. How you think I be knowing a little bit? They send me their stuff. In a spirit of humility and in light of the Paschal season, I opted to delete many of my most incriminating posts. Why? Well, by posting, unposting, I'm able to gauge who is responsible for what. And this was in replying to Oreo Cookie. So, internet crimes encompassing but not confined to business fraud, identity theft, fraud targeting the elderly, investment fraud, cyberbullying, cyber stalking, copyright infringement, cyber terrorism, money laundering, and harassment since 2018. Tamika Lindell. And it goes to right here. It says, please let Cora know that I lost my access to emails. She and I used to communicate. Tamika is a monster. Please try to generate as much traffic as you can to get the federal eyes on this criminal. And so this is what it was right here. So when you go to change.org, let me go to change.org. So when you go to change.org, actually, I found this to be very interesting. When you go to change.org, let's go to change.org. Change.org, I believe. Where is it at? There we go. So when you go to change.org and you go to the search and put paths to freedom, and you click on that, 432 verified signatures, 143 shares, 29 comments. The issue: we, the undersigned, call upon law enforcement agencies and regulatory bodies to investigate Tamika Lindell Thorpe, also known as BGC, Breaking Generational Curses, and now known as Path to Freedoms, for her involvement in multiple internet crimes under the guise of her business entity, Henry Rawson Consulting. The displeasing social media, Tamika Lindell Thorpe stand accused of multitude of internet crimes, encompassing but not confined to business fraud, identity theft, fraud targeting the elderly, investment fraud, cyberbullying, cyber stalking, copyright infringement, cyber terrorism, money laundering, and harassment. Sheesh, girl. Since 2018, Tamika Lindell Thorpe has systemically exploited numerous individuals in dire need of financial assistance. Right? Well, there you go. You go. Stop right there. Stop the press right there. You know what? You know what that means? Desperate mindset. When you're desperate, you will pay for things that you wouldn't otherwise pay for if you wasn't in a desperate situation. Yeah. Can you imagine how many people who pay for things if they just would have took that and threw it on their obligation? You know, you end up paying the gurus more than what your obligation really is in many cases. You know that, right? Spam all scammed by Tamika Lindell Thorpe. When certain actions or discrepancies are expressed, students, clients, victims are then blocked. That is the hallmark of a social media scammer. Block you when you disagree with them. Block you when you have discrepancies. Block you when you're not just shutting up and following like a sheep being led to the slaughterhouse, and their money is not refunded, exacerbated the damage they have suffered. We urge authorities to thoroughly investigate Tamika Lindell Thorpe's activities and hold them accountable for their actions. Victims deserve justice, and it is imperative to prevent further harm to unsuspected individuals. Please sign this petition if you have experienced any of the following. Your bank has or is taking legal action against you regarding unpaid debt. Bank has or is taking legal action unpaid. They say no sound. Damn. They say no sound. Y'all can't hear me? Look like y'all can hear me. Hold on. Hey, YouTube, y'all can hear me? Y'all can't hear me? You mean I've been talking this whole... See, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Ain't that a bitch? Your vehicle has been repossessed. Vehicle repossessed? It wouldn't be repossessed. You understood the file. If you get set you, it ain't gonna be repossessed on the set you. Can you imagine if Tamika was taking selling an auto class, and she had the results I had? She'd make about $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 off that class. Your credit card and/or account has been closed. A typical, what happens when you try these coupon methods. You suffer harmful and legal consequences from using Black Plate. You experience foreclosure eviction. You pay for services such as a consulting to purchase an ebook replay from Tamika Lindell Thorpe and have not received such services. These unfortunate and injurious experiences must be a direct result of the following the exact instructions or teachings of Tamika. Sign this position. And they have media inquiries. So they're asking if your media, they are really mad. And I understand. I can see if it's like one or two, you could write it off as a disgruntled employee. And I mean, everybody can't be happy, but goddamn. Tamika Lindell Thorpe, Passive Freedoms, YouTube and Instagram scammed over 600 of us who signed up for a fourth quarter takeover class. We were told by her what happened every Sunday for 8 sessions for $4.99 each month. The problem is Tamika don't have the underlying research to sustain such a class. Y'all can hear everything's good over here. Shout out to TikTok. TikTok can hear me just fine. Right? She don't have the stamina to keep up. We were told a class would start on a certain day, and it didn't after we've already paid in full for the month. Sometimes classes have to change, be pushed back. I get it, but I mean, I get that part. But when we eventually had our first class, it wasn't a class at all. It was just her talking about what we would go over in the next class. Seemed like almost every week there was some excuse as to why class would have to either be canceled or postponed. Well, we know she's not busy in litigation and other things in real life and investment in properties. You know she's not busy like that. Or has to prepare and want to get more research because you care about the information you're putting out. Now, we were told that we would go over specific information in the following week, or that the classes missed will be combined to make up for the missed classes. And when classes finally happened, we would only get a portion of what was promised. And often she would just not go over what she said she would and focus on other topics, never revisiting what was promised. We were told by Tamika there would be replays of our classes that we have access to on YouTube after class, and every week we would wait for the replays. And out of what was supposed to be 8 classes, there were only about 3 that were posted. She took a couple of those down, and for weeks she kept saying she would release them to a Google Drive for us to sign up to gain access, but she never ever did provide an avenue for us to even sign up. They were taken down because people came and called her out on the class. So whenever she gets called out, she removes the vehicle or turns off the comments. Just like that video, that class, that auto class I reviewed of her, the auto class, that I reviewed of her, the comments were turned off. Biggest red flag. $600, $499 a month. Man, I'm telling you, that was some money right there. That was some money right there. That was a good piece of change right there. She took a couple of that good for the sign up. Then after several weeks, Tamika said the uploads from class would be uploaded to a Dropbox that we all signed up for. But weeks went by and we were still never given access to our replays from class or the supporting documents she kept promising us. She promises every week we will receive. But here's the thing. At what point did you realize, like at some point, you got to realize you're being taken to the bank? Like at some point, she just kept stringing y'all along because she didn't have what she promised. She's going to promise you everything up front to get the money about you, but she don't have a backup plan on how to produce or what she's teaching. Right? Now, people would constantly ask when we're getting access to everything she promised in an Instagram post, and she blocked them or ignored them, and other times just make promises about how she released them but never did. People are still asking. Class members also asked in the YouTube comments until she just finally turned off the comments entirely.
You're rocking with the best.
Of course, that's the go-to. Comments are turned off. Of course they are. Tamika would get upset during classes and berate and spew nasty insults at the students in our class as a whole for asking certain questions or for not answering her YouTube polls as she expected. Anytime a guru gets mad at you for asking questions, that is a red flag. Just kind of like, what's the other one's name? They got her car repossessed by Chase. Kenyatta Stone, like her. Then a couple of our classes on our Zoom sessions, she ended abruptly without any warning after becoming irate and obnoxious and yelling at us, all because of few people asking questions. You want to know why? Because she was asking questions that she didn't have the answer for. All because a few people asked some questions unrelated to the specific class material for that day, and another day due to people communicating amongst each other in the chat. We were all left shocked and utterly confused and couldn't believe her actions or behavior. Overall, I and no one I'm aware of from the class received what we were told we would receive for our $4.99 times 2 membership for what was supposed to be 8 classes for a week. The first actual class was held on December 15, 2024, and the last class was held on February 30th. Several classes were missed, and we did not get our money's worth for what was promised. So this was definitely a scam. Right after that scam, she is now planning an upcoming tax class where she would charge another $4.99. Although some of the information she's taught that she claims as hers when it wasn't, has helped some people. The information that helped some people wasn't hers. See, it's never going to be, I'm teaching the class from scratch because I built the program from scratch, you know, like blueprint style.
They studying the source now. Supreme Elite. New Empire talk. Came on reading numbers.
You know, shit like that. Often there were many holes in her information mixed with misinformation and even lies. Well, didn't we just review that with Tori? Misinformation and straight up lies. But no, the new culture, his tone, he's arrogant. I don't like that he keeps showing receipts. I would take his class if he wouldn't show so much receipts. Who he think he is? They're talking about he got a professional senior supervisor analyst with the investor relations for the GNMA, the Fannie Mae, Guinea Mae. Think he's special because he's pulling up to his class. He probably not even real. He probably lying. He probably not even real. That could be anybody in the phone he called. Ain't nobody come out and actually heard Thomas speak to him on the phone. He lying. He don't got no access to those people. He down here just like us. TikTok. Put a 1 in the chat if the person I'm talking about is real and exists, and you've actually heard their voice too. I feel for anyone who gives this woman a dime after recently being completely exposed online as a real fraud who's left an endless trail of countless. Shout out to the ones. Shout out to the ones. Supreme Elite team. Y'all know y'all gonna be there too, man. That's one of the beautiful things of being the Supreme Elite team group. You get ultimate access. You get ultimate discounts. So Supreme Elite team, y'all don't have to worry about being on the email list. I'm going to let y'all know when it's time. So make sure y'all schedule is clear because he's going to be holding the presentation and he's going to be asking questions. And he's one of a class participation, y'all. So I'm going to drop the file in the group, the proposed questions, everything. And then he's going to structure the presentation. Then he's going to send me back the itinerary. I need y'all to look up things that you want to ask, follow the itinerary that I give, because he's real big on, he told me, he said today, he don't want to just be teaching nobody asking questions, engaging. So don't make him say, don't make me look bad, because I'm going to be asking questions. He said, we're not there missing. Oh man, boy, that's the biggest event of the summer, man. That's the biggest event of the summer. And then next, stop running, girl. The next event, I'm trying to get Mr. Gamble to make an appearance as well. The lawyer for credit acceptance. I'm trying to get him on board as well. And if y'all know any other professionals, Richard, I know you do. You meet with developers and stuff. I got another real estate developer who's connected with the actual people who loans money to developers and stuff. And you know, all different types of loans, private wealth lenders. I'm bringing him in to teach a class about real estate. So I'm trying to do the summer thing where it's the summer of professionals, where I'm bringing professionals in to teach. What? You bringing professionals in to teach? I would never do that. I got too much pride and ego to have somebody else come on my class and teach. I got too much pride and ego. I know it all. I can't have my students looking at me, secretly reaching out to them. I know it all. I don't want them to look at me like I don't know it all. I got too muthis pride and ego. This is why I'm not able to network, because I got to know it all. Nobody's supposed to know any more than me. And if somebody sounds like they know more than me, my insecurity and my inferior status is going to have me latch back at them and tell them they don't know what they're talking about. Deep down inside, I know they're knowledgeable because they're saying things that I don't know is true, but I can't. I got too much pride and ego to ask some questions and try to learn some things that can help increase my understanding, so help increase my group's understanding. No, all I'm thinking about is how much money I can get out of people and what's the next new thing to sell to them. Of course. Y'all find it ironic that these social media gurus don't have professionals that's linking with them? Don't y'all, that's a red flag. If you're teaching in this realm, you're bound to run into some type of professional who suffered financial, legal, and psychological turmoil and damage behind her so-called path to freedom. Beware of this cunning manipulator. She is dangerous. Pay $1,000 for a consultation in ebooks. Was sent some books that I actually already have, and sent some fake links for a private consult. God damn. That's crazy. Was part of the BGC group on Facebook. Paid $600 worth of VIP courses and replays. When they left Facebook, so did the access to the group files and videos that we were promised on Zoom. Also said colleagues also separated, leaving less opportunities to learn the things promised. This was in 2021. In 2022, found them on IG under paths. Refused to pay for anything because all new processes were being taught. Left lots of vulnerable people in the dark on Telegram also. This must be remedied. And I got copies of her Telegram. Sovereign citizen through the sovereign citizen roof. F her. She got me for $50K for a credit sweep hike. Bruh. Man, if you let somebody get you for that amount, man, come on now. And you just let it go, all you got to do is say, F her, she got me $50K. Man, I don't know where y'all from. Where I'm from, you get somebody for a stack that may be on your head. $50K, that's a death wish where I'm from. You get somebody for $50K where I'm from, shoot, anywhere across America. I don't care where you at. You get somebody for $50K, man, somebody coming to try to take your life. You tripping. $50K, oh my gosh. Myself and a few family members started following her SES process a few years ago. A group is good for people that think they know everything, but you'll see how much you don't. He may need a little insensitive, you think? Yeah, I already talked to him about that. So I'm getting an email list. I'm getting an email list together now. Yeah, I already talked to him about that. Yes. Oh, there's going to be a fee to join the thing. Let me guess. Social media and TikTok. I ain't paying to hear professionals speak. Well, what other opportunity will you have to be with a senior analyst for the investor relations for GNMA? What other the opportunities? They're just there every day for you? You could just walk down the street and you could book one. You could book a consultation with one anytime, right? Absolutely not. You know that. You know it don't work like that. Study to gain foundation and also follow her steps from paid classes. Info given was inconsistent. I know there's no one-size-fits-all process, I know a lot of her process, she did not have firsthand knowledge as she claimed. But this is the stuff that people wanted to pay. Want to know why they wanted to pay? Because it was promising free relief from their immediate situation and no understanding. I'm not going to pretend. Oh, yeah. Set you. I usually go over and edit the videos. Nah, I'm going to keep it professional. I'm going to start editing that video tonight and edit in the morning. It's just my pause moments because I don't want y'all to be. So I have the part where it's paused and then it restarts. I'm going to watch it, skim over it before I drop Class 6 Set U. But Class 6 Set U is done. Class 6 Set U is done. And let me see this. Class 6 Set U is done. Class 6 is done. Let me see. Class 6 Set U is done.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to litigate like a seasoned professional. Join the Supreme Elite Team University.
Comments in the lobby.
All right, so hold on 1 second, Pass. We get back to you in 1 second. Just so y'all know, I ain't, you know me, my name ain't Sir Cap-a-Lot. Class 6 is done. Look, Class 6 is done.
Credit acceptance on a resume with stories in the fine lines.
We are back with Class 6 of the Supreme Elite Team University. I am your host, the new coach of Empire, and as always, you
are rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best.
Yes. Now, today we are not learning accounting rules. We are learning how accounting professionals do. So I get to know. Hey, y'all get what I'm saying? Hey, Rich, Roger, y'all get what I'm saying? Class 6 is done. Y'all know Class Set U is done. Class 6 is done. I'm going to do the last sweep. I was finishing this complaint for this hearing July 10th. So I'm gonna sweep it tonight. If it ain't too much pauses and things are going to interrupt the flow, you already know what time it is. Class 6 is uploaded on the Patreon. Get in the Patreon. You better know it. He said, you pro FBA or pro Africa, or what you think? I'm pro everybody. I'm pro who's pro me. I'm pro who's pro me. I'm pro who's pro me. That's who I'm pro. Whoever's pro me, I'm pro them. I don't see race. I don't see colors and race lines in this. You want to know why? Because there's been white people who's been insurmountable in my progression. From when I first started to where I'm at today, there's been white people who's been insurmountable. There's been black people who's been insurmountable. Been Spanish people, it's been Asian people, it's been whoever. It's been lawyers from law firms. It's been, there's no race lines there. So I'm pro who's ever pro me. I don't get too caught up. It's an interesting question. I don't get too caught up in the racial politics because in that world, now, of course, there's no perfect system. Everybody got their prejudices. But principally in that world, the money's the only thing that matters. The understanding and the knowledge. They respect your knowledge of the system, and they respect you more if you don't come from that world, because they know how complex it is. So if you're not from that world and you're able to survive and thrive in that world, they actually look at it like, damn, that's impressive. They look at it like, that's impressive. No, they look at it like, oh shit, that's yo. If I was a professional attorney, these lawyers probably wouldn't have been as gracious as they have been with me. If I was another professional attorney, I believe that, given the fact that I'm not a professional attorney, it was more like, damn, that it's kind of impressive. Be a speed.
And I'm pretty comfortable with no.
How Congress says with the bar. I just had it. Oh, here we go. Be a speed dial way. Yeah, it's just.
Jeff Gamble.
Mr. Gamble, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thanks.
This is Lamont Thomas.
Yeah. Good.
Hey, nice talking to you. I just wanted to let you know personally, I appreciate your help with the matter of resolving this with credit acceptance. I did receive the title. I appreciate the fast expedition on that, but just wanted to give you a thank you, man. I appreciate your hard work, man.
No, I'm glad we were able to work it out.
Yes,
and you were a big part of that process too.
So yes, most definitely.
Just sit for a bit, and the momentum when people are working towards the goal.
Yeah.
Really helps.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I too am thankful for your role in that as well. But I really appreciate the call.
Yes, sir. Maybe one day we could go head out to a restaurant and I can just pick brain a little bit, man, because your record is an exceptional, man. Now, for real, your record is an exceptional, man. For real. Be a speed dial what? You know?
You're rocking with the best.
You know?
You're rocking with the best.
You know? This man won awards. Top litigator in 2025. He's one of the top lawyers in the state 2025. You played a big part in that process. A pro se litigant, little old me? It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation there. That's a multi-million-dollar law firm. So there's no racial lines there with me. And we still talk to this day. We still text to this day. I sent him files. He was like, thank you, I'm gonna check it out. I send him some of the stuff I be teaching at Set U. The sources I, use for my curriculum at Set U, I be sending it to him. Like, yo, check this out, Mr. Gamble. So once again, I told myself that I was going to network with as many professionals as I can, because not only does that help me, it helps my students, it helps the culture, it helps all of us, because you can only go as far as your own understanding. You have to have that professional guidance, that professional with it, because I'm not too proud to say that their interpretation is superior than ours. So if I can pick their brain on their interpretations and all the things that they say, a lot of things that they say, I can break it down and mirror it and style my interpretation there. It puts us in the best situation.
What we go, no process that's going to circumvent the application stage. If you go through application, doesn't work. They had a lot of people filling out applications, attaching that sovereign citizen crap to the applications, thinking that they were just going to get the money in their account, they buy the home clear and free, they don't owe nothing back. This is why a lot of them felt stupid. And guess what, y'all? Do you think they went for a modest couple $100,000 home? You think they started modest? No. Guess what they filled out? All multi-million-dollar mansions. See, that lets you know what's already in their mind. A process is the direct outward expression of a person's real intent. See, they really wanted that $1 million mansion, but they never filled out the application before. So as long as they heard that you don't have to pay for it, look at the greed come out in them. No process. What we go over in group is right, has to look at these people.
What he used was, you're going about it standard operating procedure. He said, whoever you got to doing this, he says, he must be on his game. He said, because he said, most attorneys that's got 10, 15 years of practice, he said, don't even understand this language. He said, they don't know nothing about this realm, this world. It's a foreign world to them.
You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best.
They hate to hear it live. They hate to hear it live, y'all. They hate to sit around and hear it. Because unless you're trying to learn, there's people that's trying to learn objectively. They don't give a shit about this. They just trying to learn the right way. They're trying to further their advancement. Those people over here, I ain't talking about them. The other ones, they're gurus and they feel like it's a competition. And the other ones are the ones, they're not teachers, but they believe so totally different that they can't stand to see and hear statements like that coming from other professionals that's different from what they believe, or if they had a horrible experience. It's a, man, I had horrible experiences. How dare you? I don't want to hear that shit. I thought none of it worked. Because now they got to confront. Maybe it wasn't that none of it works. Maybe it's you that was the problem. Maybe it was your inner intent. Maybe it's you trying to look for shortcuts that was the problem. And people, they don't want to sit around and live and hear it. But they'll double back and watch after it's over. They don't want to hear none of this live. Not on this side. TikTok, y'all do a little better. Y'all a little better. But it's too much. It's like, shut up. That's basically saying. The paper trail.
The reason that you're not able to access the information through our customer portal is because of the email that we or letter that we received from you. That was actually escalated to our compliance team. So whenever we have, an issue or we're investigating something, we place everything on hold.
That whoever you got to doing this, he says, he must be on his game. He said, because he said, most attorneys that's got 10, 15 years of practice, he said, don't even understand this language. He said, they don't know nothing about this realm, this world. It's a foreign world to
the paper trail. 27 years at the SEC, comes from the Morgan & Morgan family. He said, most attorneys don't even know this shit. 10, 15 years practice, most attorneys don't even know this shit. Most attorneys don't even know this. I don't be I don't be oh, it's your girl though.
Tamika tried to prove her case in court, but despite several appeals, Tamika tried to prove her case in court, but despite several appeals, she lost. The judge ruling her case considered a holdover, which means her lease expired and the landlord can opt to not renew.
The court ruled that I had to.
Tamika tried to prove.
So this is the same Tamika that was teaching classes on how to get out your own mortgage. But this is after she said she accessed her estate, $19 million properties, living lavish. Well, let's see.
It's called home since 2019. The Thorpe family recently evicted by the courts, a locksmith changing the locks despite a CDC moratorium on evictions.
I provided her with the CDC declaration form.
You're rocking with the best.
That's the one that's teaching all this stuff that knows so much stuff. This is the real Tamika. This is the real her.
Tamika's trouble started when her lease expired December 1st and her landlord exercised her right to not renew.
When I received the termination of lease, I still attempted to pay.
Termination of lease? I thought you was teaching. I thought you was access your estate.
Into the court date. I asked for an extension. I said, can we just work something out? It's in the middle of a pandemic. She said, I can't take any money from you because I'm taking you to court.
But this is, see, but why didn't you discharge that? Why didn't you set that off? He said, nothing easy trying to break through a 100-year system of securitization. Absolutely not. Elites scared of losing their wealth and power to the poor started racism. I can give you that. The group is good for people who think they know everything. You'll see how much you don't know. That's a fact. That's a fact. When I first started, I was like, yo, I don't know shit. For real. I was like, oh, I see why these people always win. They know the game way. All right, man. This shit down here, this pro se space, this shit child's play. That's what I was like, nah, y'all. I told my son, now you're gonna step it up. You're going corporate. You're going up there. You're gonna learn what they know. You're gonna get as close as whoever you need to get close to, network who you ever need to network with. Ain't no goddamn way. You about to go where they at, because they always seem to win. They always seems to win. They do processes so they don't have to use their money, but they don't really have no clear understanding of where the funds are going to come from to pay for the goods and services they want. See, they think they can tender worthless instruments, use a secret, non-existent treasury account, or funnel or leverage or convert contracts into assets with a treasury direct account solely just by sending it in and saying, credit my treasury direct account, thinking that a treasury direct account is established for everyone for the sole purpose of them having a social security card and a birth certificate. And then the sovereigns like to throw in this minor account, major account, hook the minor to the major. Okay. How's that worked out for the past 15 years?
Also remember that whenever you can give clarity or wherever there can be clarity and a person refuses to give it and they make it complicated, it's because they're not being forthcoming.
She privated her channel once I put her on Are You Afraid of the Dark?
No, it means it's court, and both sides have to spin the best narrative.
Also remember,
this is where our motion for summary judgment is heard at this stage. So my motion to dismiss,
we were ordered to. The IRS, they don't really skip the balls right here, processing stuff that you didn't have to report in the first place. But do you want to know why most people would still do it? Because in the back of their mind, in that little part of their brain, what they're really trying to do is get free shit out of it. So they're going to ignore anything IRS and y'all don't have to file that. Oh, well, I am because I want something free in return. Yeah, I see why they don't like me. I'll be crushing their whole dreams. I be crushing their dreams, yo. They be so mad that they be so mad when I bring the reality. They be so mad, like, I want to live in La La Land. So the students are putting all their faith in the teacher instead of just reading what the IRS says themselves. So they are part to blame in this. A lot of these students who claim they got scammed, no, they're not. That's not always the case. A lot of the students were victims of their own greed. Woo! Or victims of their own desperate situations. Whoa! You didn't get scammed. He sold you a dream. You purchased the dream. Because anyone in their right mind would know that this had no chance of working. And I don't care what anyone said. Well, he said he got it. I don't give a fuck if Skip the Boss comes and say, well, I got it. I got it. Because I'm looking at the law, the court cases, the regulations, and the government has said, no, not this way. So they're not going to give it to you. And if you were successful, that means you did another way. You probably did it the correct. So this process, not what we do, which is the right way, they thinking that 1099 process is going to substitute hard work, substitute your income. So they all buy this belief because they don't qualify the normal way. So this dream of buying a home with a 1099 gives them justification, not going out increasing their earnings, not going out there being productive in life, not going out there doing what they have to do, saving their money to come with the down payment or whatever. It gives them an excuse. But when it doesn't work, they feel like they failed or it's not fair. So then they start this process. Why wouldn't these people just...
So the fact that you feel, or I'm assuming that you feel that you don't have to have this because you're this special entity or whatever, the court does not recognize those claims. Therefore, the court is not going to accept the fact that the prosecuting attorney or the city attorney in this case does not want to go forward with it because they don't pretty much, I guess they don't want to take the time. I'm going to force this case to go either to trial or I'm going to force this case to go to a plea. You have your absolute right to a trial. You have a jury trial set for tomorrow. What we'll do before the end of the court today, we'll have a sidebar with the city attorney, or you can speak with the city attorney, Mr. Baughman, and you can go over that. And so the fact
the judge is like, nah, prosecutor, I know y'all was like, man, we ain't gonna waste judicial resources, and the judge is like, no, you're gonna be setting no. This is going to term because everybody be, oh look, they dropped it. Nah.
And I'm implying at all. I don't deny that I was not there in the interaction on, that day with the police officer. I'm not denying that at all. I was there and I am present now here as well. What I am saying is that there has been a misidentification between me and another party. I've been misidentified as a corporate fiction rather than a natural person.
All right.
Which
so
is
that's the same sovereign citizen stuff. Just doesn't, that's the same sovereign citizens argument in the court's eyes.
And I'm implying at all.
What it's really about is this essentially what I consider sovereign citizen stuff. Everybody else is taking deals for the same instance, and these sovereign citizens come in here and with no basis in the court's eyes, and they get to go off scot-free.
So I had a discussion with my client about that, and I was not able to, and I made effort to pull up some points, some authorities that I could bring to bear with respect to the issue of jurisdiction, and it just was not cognizable to me. I have to have it.
is real life, is the living and breathing one. But the part that I want you to start to play is the straw man.
Oh shit. I was done that day, y'all. I was done. That was about the 50th time I heard straw man that day. I was done. I was done. I heard it. This is about the 50th time I heard it.
Is real life, is the
second half 2, out December 20th.
3500 my Dana. All my bitches are trophies. I hang them all on the mantle. She got a toe like wax like a candle, now fucking on random. Said it is sweet, and I want to sample. Nearly to this bed when I whip out this hammer. She beat my bites when I handle the smoke. Have my dick in her mouth for my pants at the flow. She know it ain't sweet 30, hang out the stick. It be long.
Second half 2, out December 20th.
She like my 40, she hang on my hip. Shorty's nature is naughty. She think about this. Should've watched all the words before they came out your lip. We gon' choke till we blue in the face like a critic. Caught your bitch out there, hey, that's a pick off. Your head like the deal that you saw, get it ripped on. Still gonna make the bitch down like a tip.
Second half 2, out December 20th. Second half 2.
He just wanna stack in the lean nigga, dead in the dish. Okay, I let you know. Them kids got a ladder, them cutters got legs in the end. Oh no, don't put the vote. He whipping that pots in that nigga and left them trays. Oh, I fuck with the low. Every dollar that I'm touching, leave blood on my hands. Jumping his blood on the dope. Yeah, we ballin' these sacks. He just wanna sell, speed the face, and I can't hold my bricks. I splash on my neck, leave a stain on my wrist. Switch on my feet, I'm Luke Kane with the kick. My hands so dope, feel a drain when I drip. It blow with fluid flow, I got the juice. My chain wrapped around my neck like a noose. I already fucked a bitch you call a boo. Doggy style like the album from Snoop. Yeah, he set me up straight. I ran through that pack in the day. Did he double up and put another 100 on my plate? And I ran through the 100 after saying grace. Bottom 30s with a made round the way. I ain't bagging up, I just scraped off the plate. Another 20, never late with the pay. And he did just like crazy with a brick in my face. Sales.
Told you. Where's it at? All that on my. You got to go to court. This past November, but that's what the sovereign citizens think. Every bill is a check. Everything is an offer. Every bill is a contract. Told you the single literal meanings of what they mean in everyday life. Nope, the sovereign citizen book. Now it means, oh, it's a check. Oh, it's really money. Oh, it's really credit because there's no negative sign there. Oh, it's really this. It's really that. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Is you get bit by the sovereign citizen book. That's all it takes for you to start thinking illogically, to start making yourself sound crazy. I told you. Everything he said, sovereign citizen. It's sovereign citizen. Through and through. Sovereign citizen. That's what they all think.
All right. I have someone's bill right here. I'm helping them work on, but this is every time you get this is an offer to contract. So if you go back to the Bills of Exchange Act, when you're doing your action, you're doing your
past November. What did I say? The normal meanings, they always got to mean something else. A birth certificate is now a birth certificate. It's not spelled B-I-R-T-H. It's spelled B-E-R-T-H. And the E stands for economically, which is sided with the sestiki. You see the sounding? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sestiki trust. So when the birth, the E is activating the account. They use the numbers on your birth certificate, and that's the account number. Then your social is the routing, and then it goes through the Treasury direct account, and then it's going to fund, and it hooks up to that account with the Treasury. So every time you get the application now, the number of the application, they're already drawing the money plus the interest. But they're greedy, so they're tricking you into paying twice. No. That's how they be sounding when they be explaining it, bro. I be like, yo, who is believing that shit? Which is 99.99% of every class, webinar, process, document is to get goods and services of the United States without really paying for it. And in their everyday lives,
They know it's not a reality. They know it's never happened. They know they can't do that, go to Best Buy with a tax form. They know they can't go to the store and do it. They know every day they step out in the world, they're paying with cash or credit. They know it. Their everyday lives is not reflective of what they're teaching. They know this already, but yet the idea of not paying the bill, the idea is keeping extra money in their pocket is what forces them to take the class. They're buying, they take these courses on the idea of what it can be, not value, which is
whatever's written. Figures and words says whatever you write on the bill, if there's a discrepancy between the number and the words, whatever the words are written is what's payable. Okay? So I was like, wow. So even if you put $10 on the check, let's say you write a check to somebody, you put $10, but you write $30, the check will pay.
And this is, they think that's legal. They think they can legally do that without a legal justification. And this is what I mean about context. They don't have context or understanding. He is misinterpreting what it says. It doesn't mean, I told you, everything is a literal interpretation to them. No context, everything is literal. They take everything literally. It doesn't mean you can write it on there. It doesn't mean you could just, all right, 30, all right, let me write 1,000. I need 3,000. There has to be an action.
Whatever's written.
Whatever is recognized legal tender at the time of the payment. Bills of exchange are not recognized legal tender. Negotiable instruments are not legal tender, but they can be accepted as legal tender because those negotiable instruments can be converted into legal tender. A facts. Every bank manager, bank officer, accountant, facts. Check is not legal tender. It's a negotiable instrument. But since a check can be converted into cash, and when I say check, I mean in the general sense, written on a checking account, even though we all know what it is. But since sovereign citizens play the semantics game, every normal word, every legal, normal, general term always has to have some deep esoteric meaning to it when it just means the normal, regular word. So I got to keep filtering, making sure I make sure when I mean check, when I shouldn't have to do that. But I know they're sovereign citizens. They take every little thing and stretch it to something that has no legal basis. What's written on the money order versus what's printed, the written money order takes precedence. But what they don't realize is that every money order already has a serial number attached to it. It doesn't generate a serial number unless cash was being exchanged. So just because you buy $1 money order and then you write 27,000 on it, it doesn't make it a $27,000 money order. It makes it a $1 money order. Can you imagine a company, a world, a system where all you had to do was buy a $1 money order, scratch it out, and write whatever amount you want on it? Do you imagine how bankrupt we'll be in a day? Do you imagine all the greed and desperation that people will be reflecting on those written amounts? Man, they will deplete the assets of this country in one day. And do you think the money that they would get from that will be used to actually progress this country? What's written? I'm going to give you a discount rate. Because there's no way that anybody should be getting their vehicles repossessed if they following the teacher, if that teacher knows what they're talking about. There's no way anybody's vehicle should be repossessed. If you had your vehicle repossessed dealing with some of these teachers, it's still not too late. We can still go after them. If you had your homes taken by dealing with these teachers, it's still not too late. You still, in all your studies, all your talking points, your foundation based on someone else's words, that means you never did any thorough studying yourself. And one thing that's always going to be relevant is your understanding and your foundation, because your foundation determines your longevity. All these gurus today, all they're doing is just recircling the wagon. See, they don't know how to continue to that trajectory that way. because they don't have any foundation. So they're going to be stuck. You only go as far as your knowledge and your understanding. So if your knowledge and understanding is limited, then guess what? You have no choice but to circle the wagon.
And the thing about it is that I want to tell the class and whoever that's listening is that if you pay attention to the things that he teaches in this class and start taking notes, do your homework. Do your homework. You know, he can only lead a horse to water, but he can't make it drink. You have to drink yourself, okay? And I've missed, because of, I've come down, I missed 85% of the classes and stuff, but I had the core things and the core principles down, and I read whatever he put out there. That's, I throw it on my iPad and just start scrolling and reading, and reading. And the thing about it,
in between rounds, you know, life is crazy.
They ain't no shaking.
That the consumer credit.
Yo, when we finish these settlements, I wonder what's going to be the reaction when I give them an update on the settlements.
Damn, this motherfucker aged like fine wine, didn't it?
Do you think they'll be happy for us?
No.
Yeah, do you think they'll be happy for us?
No.
Oh, Dan, I see you, bro. Appreciate you. Nah, they're always going to leave when you're telling the truth because they think like you're talking directly to them, but you're really not. They just fit the narrative. Oh, no, bro. 98% of people on TikTok will never get a remedy. Oh, you ain't got to worry about that.
Shots fired.
Only 2% is ever going to get it. The sad part is the 98% don't even realize it yet. Yo, so your social security number ended up on your birth certificate. Everything is just trust law. Moving equity. Trust. All these trust law people, if all this was so goddamn true and it was just that simple, why is the poverty rate still what it is? I mean, people that are well off are not paying attention to that crap garbage. So the low-hanging fruit, why isn't the wealth gap closing? You got billions in your account. It should be reflected in the GDP. It should be rejected in the numbers. It should be rejected in the property being purchased by these people. But when you're dealing with people that actually knows the game and knows and can understand and can pick up and can point out inconsistencies on the fly, those are the people that gets banned from their lives. Because you're a threat to their money. Like, I swear to God, I don't have to tell you what you want to hear, but when you're dealing,
according to your conversation,
how's your loan evidence on the balance sheet, and what balance sheet did they have to use, and what line and what item is your loan accounted for on the balance sheet? Just off the top of your head. Just off the top of your head. How is your loan accounted for on the balance sheet, and what line, what schedule is used, and what line is it inputted on? How's your loan evidence on?
You gotta know it off the top of your head.
They know.
Well, yeah. It just seems like an accounting error, but I mean, it's an assignment. So it seemed like he's saying, yeah, it seems legit. He said it's something that they teach in a highly advanced accounting classes.
That's him letting his college professor look at one of my accounting documents. See, he called me to tell him what the professor said.
Yep.
But accounting classes, highly advanced accounting class. In a highly advanced accounting, he said it's something that they teach in a highly advanced accounting classes.
Yep.
But he's talking about one of my documents.
Well, yeah, it just seems like an accounting error.
When you stop paying, make sure it's done the right way, and you can stand on it, and you get aggressive in your litigation.
The reason that you're not able to access the information through our customer portal is because of the email that we or letter that we received from you. That was actually escalated to our compliance team. So whenever we have, an issue or we're investigating something, we place everything on hold.
I fill it up with pack dough. Don't call my name while I'm whipping it, yeah, I be whipping it straight. Get me a plate, 1,000 grams, no cut it, sit by that lake, 20X for the plate. A brick in the safe, the semis, the fully, and switch on the Drake. Blue diamonds, the rest don't switch out the face. Off the ace out of spades, sit by that case, you ain't.
Tori, I ain't lead you on the wrong path yet, have I?
No, not at all. Not at all. And not only that, but I checked that with my securities attorney buddy, and he went over your brief, and he said, man, that's rock solid.
There you go. That's the SEC attorney keep talking about.
You're rocking with the best.
That's it.
You're rocking with the best.
That's him. Told you. I ain't lead you around the wrong path yet, have I?
No, not at all. Not at all. And not only that, but I checked that with my securities attorney buddy, and he went over your brief, and he said, man, that's rock solid. He said, I could have done a better job myself.
Shit.
You're rocking with the best.
Man, I ain't look at these shorts in months. I done forgot what was said. God damn.
How much they actually got. That's what you really owe. That is what notice is saying. That is the gist of it. And the lawyer has confirmed it.
We are. Want to know why? Because when they give you that check from the 1099B and you.
However, a 1099A form is not a negotiable instrument. It's a IRS tax form that is required by the IRS. However, a 1099A form is not a negotiable instrument. However, a 1099A form is not a negotiable instrument. It's a IRS tax form that is required by the IRS to be filed after property used in a real estate loan has been foreclosed or abandoned. However, a 1099A form is...
That's a lawyer. When we was going over Tori the other night, damn, our interpretations are the same. Because I was saying, he said, I appreciate the case review, bro. I'll be amending and adding new evidence. Well, as long as we can get thought-provoking and expand your horizon, the job is done.
You're rocking with the best.
See? That's what we do over here at the New Culture Empire. We expand horizons. Just to get you, not saying everything you're doing is wrong, just to get you to look at it just a tad bit differently. Just a tad